challenge, 1099 challenge. So, just some interesting information. Recently, the IRS has said that they believe tax information reporting is the source of the next generation of innovation and fundamentally a different way to run our tax system. And we agree with that. We feel that the solutions are going to make the whole entire process a lot easier and streamlined. And so if the IRS is doing it, we definitely want everyone else out there using it so that you're on a level playing field with the IRS. So this slide talks about information reporting landscape. Basically what it's discussing is that the U.S. Congress, the Treasury Department, and IRS are really focused on enforcing existing regulations, as you all probably know. They really want to increase their tax revenue. And what's an easy way to do that? Through audits. What is the IRS doing to help that? They're actually hiring more and more auditors every year. So in 2011, they actually hired over about 800 auditors. And for 2012, the last number I saw was around 500. So, I mean, they understand that that's an easy way for them to get money. And, of course, they're increasing the penalties for noncompliance. The penalties can range anywhere from $100 to $250,000 to even $1.5 million just for penalties. So we definitely want to avoid those. And of course, there's always challenges associated with information reporting that's going to impact all payment types, from cash, check, cards, etc. So basically, with all that said, with all the changing regulations, we want to find a robust and flexible reporting tool that will minimize noncompliance risk and financial exposure. And then, of course, a payment form that's going to streamline the information reporting tasks and processes. Okay. So from accounts payable and a tax operations perspective, they're facing a lot of challenges. On the business dynamics side, not only are they managing the FTE and processing costs, there are multiple business lines, increasing system complexity and disparate data and processes. But then you've got the regulatory environment where you've got the federal, state, and local budget shortfalls, over 400 jurisdictions subject to change. You've got increased enforcement activity, withholding complexities and liability, and demographic intent and data quality. It's a lot to manage. So what are some challenges of the 1099 compliance? 1099s are a statutory requirement. Sooner or later, unfortunately, you'll probably be audited. And audits almost always result in back taxes and penalties. I mean, that's their number one goal. If they're going to audit you, they want to find something. So you've got another challenge is just the manual 1099 management. It's labor intensive, it leads to inaccurate results, and it's expensive. And it's 100% non-revenue generating activity. So no matter how perfect you do it, you're not getting paid to do it. You're just avoiding audit or hoping you're avoiding an audit. So it really does make sense to automate with a solution. Some additional challenges of the 1099 compliance. It's an involved process. So not only are you managing W-9s, B notices, 10 validations, you're having to load, print, submit. You just don't want to get in trouble with the IRS. There's over 250 forms in aggregate that require electronic filing with the IRS. You've got multitudes of forms. So here's just a few of the common form types listed. And then most every business will need to print, mail, and file a 1099. It's just inevitable. So why AvaTax 1099? Number one, risk mitigation. So let's streamline the tax reporting. Let's comply with all regulations, reduce or eliminate penalties, eliminate manual nature of annual process. And then ease of use. It's a very easy solution. It's avoid having to purchase, install, integrate, operate software for 1099 every year. And then no more dealing with bad data. B notices, W-9 remediation. And it's, again, it's an easy process. It's going to streamline the whole entire process for you. So who can AvaTax 1099 help? If your businesses fall into any of these scenarios, these are definitely some key triggers where AvaTax 1099 can help. So if you're filing 100 1099s a year, if you are uncertain, if you're up to date on the reporting regulations and compliance laws, just not sure what you're doing, you don't have effective tools in place to verify the name and TIN with the IRS to avoid those B notices, Some high-risk industries also. So if you're in, financial institutions, insurance companies, large retailers, or complex manufacturers, franchises, anything like that, you definitely could benefit from AvaTax. So an overview of the Avalara 1099 solution. So here's some product details. So basically, this solution is a volume-based solution or volume-based service. So what does that mean? That means that smaller companies can get just as a robust solution and not have to pay a lot of money. It's scalable. So if you are only doing 100 1099s, you can buy that bucket size, and it's priced accordingly. And then if you're doing 1,000 or 10,000 1099s, we help you find the appropriate bucket or tier that fits your business. It's a SaaS product delivery, so it's in the cloud. So what's that mean to you? That means that you don't have any maintenance, no hardware nor software maintenance. There's nothing that you have to do, and your IT folks will love that. They will love to hear that. They definitely, all the IT folks on demonstrations I'm on are always saying, what am I going to have to do for this? And nothing. That's the beauty of the cloud, is that Avalara takes care of all of the updates, all of the maintenance. You're just going to use it, and that's the whole idea. It's going to provide you real-time 10 validation, individual and bulk. It's going to support all form types. You've got your B-Notice and W-9 remediation tools. You can print and mail the forms by IRS mandated dates, and you have electronic transmission to federal authorities, and it allows you to do an optional combined state and federal CSF filing. And it's ERP agnostic. It doesn't matter what you're using. If you're using, some homegrown system or legacy system, or if you're using, a brand new Microsoft Dynamics system, it doesn't matter what you're using, because you're probably going to export that information into Excel, and then you'll just populate it right into the solution. So it's very, very easy to use. So here's kind of a picture of how the solution it works. It's pretty simple slide here. It's not too much to it. So you've got your ERP, your accounting software. So whatever system you're using right now for accounting, you take your information and you push it into the 1099 solution in this cloud. It goes up to the cloud. Once it's in the cloud or into the 1099 solution, it allows you to do your bulk 10 validation, your W-9, B-Notice remediation, get all of your information in there, all of your reports done. Then you can go ahead and print and mail, or you can electronically file to the IRS right from the solution. So it's very, very easy, and that's the whole entire process. I mean, that's the reason for the solution. We want to streamline the process, keep everything easy and not confusing. Okay, so here is actually just a screenshot of the homepage of the solution, AvaTax 1099. And there's 3 steps. That's the best part. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. You've got add my data being the first one. So we basically add the data. That's all you do. You come in, you add it. The next step is going to be fix it. So if there's any validation errors or any 10 mismatches, those will be populated here. You'll go ahead and fix those. The next thing will be send my data. So once it's all fixed up, then just send it along. So you either do the electronic file or you do the print, and you approve it before you print it. Okay. So now we're going to walk you through some slides that show a demonstration of the whole entire process. Okay. So here is actually, maybe I should ask if you guys have any questions before we jump into more slides for the actual demo. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know, and we can maybe take a couple questions right here.
I don't see any questions, Nicole, at this point.
Okay. Okay.
So if anybody does have a question, go ahead and raise your hand real quick. If not, we'll go ahead and proceed.
All right.
I don't see any, Nicole.
Okay, very good. I thought I'd check. Sometimes I get talking, and I thought we could take a quick little break if there were any questions. So,
thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Very good. So, all right, back to this. So this is basically where you'd log in. So you'd log into your account. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add your first payor. Okay, so I'm going to add my information. So now my information is all populated in here. And then after that, all you do is you go back to the home page or to the main screen. And then we're going to remember those 3 steps that we just talked about. So the first step is we're going to add my data. So what it does is it takes you to the screen, and you're going to have your file name, so you just tell it wherever your data is, where you saved it, you browse, you click the file name, and you're going to import your payee. So then we go ahead and select that. So now all of it's been imported. So the next step, because it brings us back to the home page, the next step is going to be fix my data if anything's wrong. And so you'll see down here we've got 2 validation errors and we've got 1 10 mismatch out of the data that was imported. So I'll go ahead to correct the rejected records. So if you have any errors on your records, those will be always listed over here on the left side in red. And you'll see I've got 2. The nice thing is, so you'll just select one. And then the nice thing is that it'll actually show you specifically what's wrong. It'll always tell you right up at the top. So it'll say the field address must have a value. So it was blank. Now for this presentation purpose, it's filled in. But basically, if the main street was missing, then you just have to look back to your records to get their street address. Type that in. You come up here. You'd save it. And then that would go away. You would come down to your next reject, and then you would adjust whatever needs fixed, save it, and then we'd come back here and it would show 0 validation errors. So then we would need to resolve our 10 mismatches. So we would choose our resolve 10 mismatches. And when we do that, that's going to bring up this screen where it's going to show our mismatch records. So we've got one right here, Carl, Adam, Miranda, and we don't have a 10 listed. So that's really the error there. So I can tell that right off the bat just from looking without even editing it. But basically I come in here, I'm going to choose Edit. And when I do that, it's going to show me that my 10 status failed. And that's because I don't have a 10 listed. So what I do is I'd come in, I'd enter the 10 number, and I would save it. And then it would be all fixed up. Okay? And then another thing, just so you know, is you actually have the capabilities to do individual 10 lookups at any time. So when you do when you import, it does the bulk 10 check. So you don't even have to worry about it. But if you wanted to do an individual lookup of a payee Social Security or employer ID numbers, you have the capability to do that and verify it real time. So it's just a nice feature that the solution offers. Okay. So now we come back and we show we've got 0 validation errors. We've got 0 10 mismatches because we fixed everything up now. So the last thing we have to do is to send the data. So I choose that. It's going to start with my printed Avatax 1099s. So it's going to say, do you want to approve all the forms and or do you want to approve a subset of those forms? So you see we've got 16 returns right here. So you can do all at once or you can do a subset of those. Basically, you can review them and then go ahead and approve them. And then you can submit for printing right here. You also have an option, which I think is important, a 10 masking. So you can actually hide the first 5 digits of the Social Security number or EIN on the printed tax returns. And it just asks you how you would like it to be displayed. So do you want it hidden or not? Okay, so you just tell it. And the next thing is for your 1099 transmit. So you can go ahead and submit these electronically. And so you can, again, you have some filters over here for what return. So you have your 1099s listed right now. That's all I have listed here. Then you got your payors. So you could, choose which ones of the payors you want to submit, your federal limits, and then your transmittal type. So you do have some options of what you send and how you do so. But we've got our 16 returns, and we could go ahead and transmit those just by checking the box. Okay? So when your data is imported, it's just important to know that it does the bulk 10 automatically checked. So it does that automatically, like I was just talking about. You don't have to go through and do every one. It automatically does it. The application actually notifies you of the progress. And an email is sent when results are returned from the IRS. So it's generally less than 24 hours. And then errors are mismatched and identified, as we talked about. When you print them, the application can automatically filter print job to only print forms required by the IRS. And you can approve all or just a subset of forms like I just talked about. You've got the optional 10 masking, which is important, just for a summary. And then you can print and printing and mailing is handled for you. It's part of the service. Okay, when you send it, you've got your application can automatically apply filters to only send forms required by the IRS, kind of same as with the printing. And you can approve all or just a subset. And the data does go to the IRS in the current 1220 format, which is important to know. And you can elect to participate in the combined federal and state. And that's it. So you're done after that. It's 3 easy steps. It doesn't get much easier than that, I don't think. All right. So if you want to take a peek at some of our online product demonstrations, we do have the 1099 on our website. Just go to avalara.com/resources, and then you'll see product demos, and then you can scroll through all of the demonstrations that we have online. Or you can actually reach out to us, and we can set up a customized demonstration for you and learn a little bit more about your business and what you're facing so that we can customize it and then do a one-on-one. Okay. And so just so you know, we also have other compliance tools. So not only do we have the 1099, but we do offer Avatax Calc, which is a calculation solution for sales tax. So if you are having issues with sales tax, we can plug right in and do the address validation. We address product taxability, jurisdiction assignment, all the sourcing rules and reporting capabilities. So we can take care of Calc completely for you. We also have an Avalara certificate solution. So if you're managing a lot of exemption certificates, we can help you with that as well. And then for the final process of the sales tax world is reporting those tax returns as well. We can prepare and file and pay on your behalf so that we can really just take care of the whole entire process for you if that's something that you might want to do. And we can do demonstrations of all these solutions so you can see what they look like. And a lot of the times we'll have the system that you are using. We have over 200 different integrations, and we have a lot of different systems that we can demo in to show you exactly what it would look like in your environment. And so you just reach out to us for that, and we can walk you through, take you through a one-on-one with your individual company for your specific needs.